Good morning, children. Today we are going to torture some guitars into making some weird sounds. To do so, we're going to have the assistance of the incredible Grand Baton, and we're going to use this song called Caribbean as an example. If you remember, Caribbean is the song that is featured in the video called Mixing Caribbean. Here we go. What we're going to do now is take a look at how he got those insane guitar sounds. And to do so, JC was kind enough to bring his pedal board, couple amps. I put some microphones up. We're going to dissect the sound just for you. So first I have a question. You don't just come up with this kind of crazy setup. How does it start? Where do you start?
For the album, my first concern was recording my guitars, and I wanted for once do something that guitar players don't usually do, is recording guitars with fuzz pedals directly into the board.
A fuzz pedal direct straight into your interface or your board. Okay.
Yeah.
How did that work out?
Pretty well.
Oh yeah?
Yes. I was looking for that kind of synth sound with the guitar, like very destructive, completely destroyed sound of guitar, and it worked well.
Okay, great. Why don't we turn the amps off? First, let's play the clean guitar sound.
Mm-hmm.
Fully clean.
That's it.
Okay, great. So then what happens? You're going from your guitar into what?
So actually right now I can make it simple. It's basically this fuzz pedal right here.
Who makes that?
William Atchison device.
Okay.
It's the Geiger Counter. I love this pedal. It's great. So then I can turn on the fuzz pedal right here.
Okay. So that's the WMD thing?
Yes.
Okay, and then what happens?
And then I was so used to use this octave pedal. I've been playing in this band, playing all the bass parts on the guitar with this pedal.
Really?
Basically, it's active on a certain range of the guitar.
Okay.
So basically, for this song, I set it pretty high. Goes from here, still there, and no octave here.
So the octave pedal is only working on the 3 bottom strings of the guitar?
Yeah.
But not on the top strings?
Right.
Okay, and how do you do that? Is that a part of the pedal?
Yes, that's exactly what the pedal is supposed to be. I mean, you can set it up to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So, like this.
Gnarly. Okay, great. And then what?
This is only it for the direct sound.
Okay.
This is it.
Just for us to know, what else do you have? What's that blue thing over there? The tone monk.
That's a buffer. That's something that you really use when you have a lot of pedals to go through.
Mm-hmm.
This is like to clean your signal and like keep it at a certain level, because you're supposed to lose a lot of, signal level going through all the pedals.
Okay.
If you could just go to 3 of them, it's not useful.
Okay. Okay, so then what is it? Then you go to the tuner? Is that the TC tuner thing?
Yeah, well, this setup right here is just because of last gig.
Okay.
Of course, when I'm recording, I take out every pedal that I'm not using for the specific part that I'm playing.
Why?
Just to make sure that I have the best sound possible and the best level.
A lot of guitar players have like big boards with 100 pedals and lots of noise and lots of stuff. And you're saying that if you remove some pedals, it sounds better?
Yes, I would say that. And I would say that also the order of how you plug the pedals into each other is really important too. Usually you try things with pedals. It's not an exact science.
Okay. I'd like to summarize something very important, a piece of information that would save the world. The least amount of pedals, the better the sound. Just saying. I'm just saying. So what's that psychedelic looking thing there?
That's the boiling point.
Okay.
From Rockbox.
Okay.
It's a overdrive pedal.
Okay. But you didn't use that sound on Caribbean?
No.
Okay, on
I
Caribbean.
mean, I've used it, but not together with the first pedal.
Okay, so let's get rid of that. So you have the WMD, the yellow one, and then the octave. And then what happens?
And then I have this little guy here. This is what I use to split my signal between a guitar amp and bass amp.
Okay.
Because I do that. First, I have two outputs. I have a parallel out that is not processed. So this is for my guitar signal. And then this is going to the bass amp, and this is just to add some settings if I want to control the sound of the bass amp from here. There's an EQ and there's a distortion, and it's really made for bass. So it kind of enhances my sound as a bass.
So for those of you who missed an episode, starting from the pickup into the black cable, into that blue buffer, into the TC Electronic Polytune, because you gotta tune the guitar from time to time, into either the boiling point overdrive or the Geiger Counter fuzz to add dirt. Then out of that into the Super Octaver by Boss, which adds an octave below, but only on these three strings, not these three strings. Out of the Octaver into the MXR Bass DI, which is used as a splitter. Part of the signal, which is already distorted because it's either going through the boiling point or the fuzz, but just exactly as is going to the guitar amp. And the other part of the signal, which could have additional distortion because you can't have too much distortion, is going to the bass amp. Just like that.
Just like that.
Okay, now we know the rig. So before we turn the amps on and go crazy, I'd like to know how the song started. You didn't wake up one morning and have this whole thing in your head. So where did it start?
It actually started in the most simple way.
Okay.
I've been recording a whole bunch of riffs with that sound. Guitar into a fuzz pedal, straight into the board, straight into the computer, of course. So I was using mostly this guitar.
Okay.
I can show you.
I'm curious to know what the difference in sound. So what part would be the first part you came up with?
Actually, this one, this very easy one.
Okay, let's listen to it with the SG over there. Okay, so that's an old SG.
Yes, this is a 74 ASG.
74, great year. And what was that?
This is a Blade. This is actually a guitar that I've been having for like more than 20 years, and it's made in Switzerland, and it's a great guitar.
Okay, let's check out the difference.
Okay.
Same part, same thing.
Okay, this is it.
It's about twice as fat.
Yeah.
Okay, so I understand why you use that. Okay, so you started the song with this.
Yes.
Then what?
Then I put a drum on this part.
Okay.
And I recorded the drum playing this thing. And as I was rolling with this, I came up with this thing. On top of the drum. And that was the beginning of the song right here.
Okay, so you do your demo, right? What do you work? Logic, Pro Tools, Studio?
Logic.
Logic? Okay, tremendous choice. So you record directly in Logic?
Yes, and I wanted to use this sound actually. I was already thinking that I would have to record through actual amplifiers, but I wanted to have this sound, direct sound. So I wanted to build this song with this sound.
Okay. Well, actually, when I got the session to mix it, the DI sound was still in there. I used it a couple times. I think it is actually the center and the middle of this sound on the record. I used the DI in combination with the other amps you recorded after to be able to get precision without room, and then I used the rest to make the dirt around it. Okay, then what happened?
So then I had this riff, and then I came up with a whole bunch of different ideas. First, the vocals. I wrote a verse, and I had a chorus that happened to be now the ending of the song. The guitar was doing something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4.
When you play this, I noticed that maybe the main riff would be better with that guitar.
Yes, that was one of the ideas that I came up with much later
Okay.
when recording the actual guitars of the song.
So on the song, you recorded con, with this one,
Yeah.
and with this one.
Yes.
Right. When did you decide to start going beyond DI and having some actual guitar amps involved?
Well, I had you in mind. I was like, my fellow partner here in this crazy story would be very happy to have a actual amplifier sound instead of just having to deal with the DI. So I brought my stuff, these two amps as guitar amps. Depending on the part, I would use this one or this one. And of course, a bass amp. I would set this amp to completely clean, no distortion on the amp, because I'm like having a lot going on right here already.
Yes.
So this is a Mesa Boogie single rectifier with a 212 cabinet, and this is a 112 combo amp from Brunetti. It's called a Single Man.
Okay, great.
And I would bring a bass amp. Sometimes I would use a PA system. I mic them in a way that I like. I like to have ribbon mics on the guitar amp. So this setup right here.
Yeah. You had a 57 also.
Yeah.
You have an SM57.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also.
And then on the bass amp, you had a ribbon too, right?
Yes.
Okay. Today, after listening to the amps, I felt like using a Shure SM7, which is kind of like a 57 vibe.
It's a great choice.
I love it. And then for the ribbon, I picked a KSM 313 from Shure also. And then on the bass amp, I chose a condenser, not a ribbon, a KSM 44. I don't know why, that's just the way it felt. I'm sure it would sound great with another one of these, but this sounded fantastic right out of the box, so why not use it? And then, so it sounds like this. Let's turn everybody on and play the same riff. Scary. Why don't you play the riff and we're gonna listen to every mic separately. Like 2 bars of the riff with the distortion, everything, exactly like you play it on the record. So first pass, let's listen to the SM7. Wow. Now the KSM 313, the ribbon one. And the two of them together sound like this. This is a blend of the two at unity gain. All right. On the bass side, let's listen to just the bass amp with the KSM 44 on it. All right, that sounds great. This is providing me with the elastic oomph at the bottom and also a little bit of extra dirt, but without the brightness. It's not in-your-face dirt. So that's very nice. And this provides me with the definition and the anger, and then the DI gives me the solidity and the precision in the middle. And the combination of the three is pretty gnarly. Let's check it out. Whenever I get a record to mix and I open the session, I solo the tracks and I try and figure out what's been going on, who did what, how does it sound. And from time to time, I solo an instrument and I ask myself, how did they do that? And when that happens, that makes me happy. And I have the luxury of being able to call whoever is responsible for the absurdity that I'm listening to in my mix room. I thought you guys would enjoy being able to do the same thing and have a sneak peek behind the scenes at how on earth one can get one guitar to sound like that. I think that the combination of fat from this amp, precision from the DI, and crazy definition from the guitar amps is pretty unique. I had never heard anything like it before. Consequently, I asked, in this case, Grand Baton, who was kind enough to explain it to us step by step, or should I say, dubstep by dubstep.
Et voilà.